and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about a little assessment or a little test, whatever you want to call it, that focuses on ankle mobility. So our ankles and our hips really want to be able to be mobile when we're doing any lunging or running or squatting. So our knees are able to do their job of being stable. Often what happens is when our ankles are limited or the range of motion there is limited, it can really impact what our knees do and what our hips do. So a nice way to see kind of what's going on is by assessing how mobile what your range of motion is like in your ankles. Today we're going to go through a little bit of an assessment, and at least it gives you an idea of kind of what you might need to work on or might want to work on. So let's go.
So find yourself a starting point. I've used a wall and then a flat surface, as that's where your foot's going to be. You can get yourself some sticky notes or some post-it notes and some pens to write on, but also to use as marking points. So remember here, we're trying to find out the range of motion through our ankle. This is a really simple way of finding out how to do it. So place your front foot on the ground. And the aim is to keeping your foot flat on the ground, so your heel grounded, big toe, little toe grounded. How far back can your foot get with your knee touching the wall without that heel coming up? So wherever that range is, that would give you an indicator of the range of motion through your ankles. And we're going to be doing both sides here. So as soon as you get to a point where the heel comes up, that would indicate that your foot is too far away from the wall. So you'd have to just edge your foot a little bit closer. So you can see here that mine's creeping up just a little bit. So I'm just playing around with it. So at this point, it is too far. And you can see that the heel comes up quite a lot, which means I have to come a little bit further forward again. And then I've just about found my spot. So I'm going to just write on my little post-it. That's my right foot. So I'm going to just stick right on the post-it. And then I've lined up that post-it at the back of my heel. And I'm just going to keep it there. So that's my marker. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing with my left foot. And then right now, all we're trying to do is just see, is it the same? Is it a little bit different? So my left side is actually much more mobile. I have more range of motion through there. And there's definitely less movement of my heel coming up on that left side. Definitely feels easier overall. And I found my point. So I get my post-it. I've written on my post-it left, just so I remember. And then now I have both markers, one for my right foot and one for my left foot.
So here I'm just sharing my results from the test we just did, and we can see that my right marker is ahead of my left by about a centimetre, but this actually indicates that my right side is not as mobile as my left side. That actually is an improvement for me. My right side has always been a little bit more restricted, but my mobility work has definitely shown improvements, which is fantastic. And I definitely feel better squatting, lunging, running, doing all that sort of stuff. Now you see your results, you know what you have to work on. Obviously, if it's a huge discrepancy, then that is going to impact your training. It's going to impact how the muscles fire up around the ankles, around the knees, around the hips, especially when you do anything high impact or really, really heavy. So hopefully working on those areas will then directly improve your performance for whatever exercise that you choose. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope that ankle mobility test assessment was helpful for you. I would love to know what your findings were. So please comment below or drop me a message. I'm super interested to hear this. And then once you've worked on your mobility through the ankles and through the feet, through the calves, with the guidance of one of my other videos, I'd love to know your improvements. What's changed? What feels better? What feels different? Have you noticed any difference in your squatting or your lunging or your running? Please let me know. So comment below or feel free to email me info@alicianoble.com. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.